When a woman hurts you, your first instinct is to fight back, to shout, to explain, to pour your heart out until she understands the damage she's caused. But listen carefully, because the most powerful response isn't anger. It isn't begging. It isn't proving yourself. The real power is silence, a silence so calm, so unshaken, that it forces her to feel the weight of what she's lost. A silence that whispers louder than words ever could. I no longer belong to you. Why silence breaks her more than words. When a woman hurts you, whether it's with betrayal, coldness, or even just that sharp indifference, you'll feel an urge inside you to explain yourself, to tell her, look what you've done to me. And it makes sense. Pain demands an outlet. But the problem is, the moment you do that, you put her back in control. You hand over the steering wheel of your emotions to the very person who broke them. And nothing shrinks a man faster in her eyes than being too eager to show how badly she cut him. This is why silence is so powerful. Not the kind of silence where you block her out of anger, not the passive-aggressive kind where you hope she'll chase you. I'm talking about the calm, steady silence of a man who knows his value. You don't raise your voice. You don't beg for answers. You simply remove your energy. You stop feeding her the attention she once had on demand. And suddenly, she feels something she never expected: emptiness. See, she got used to you, to the morning texts, the late night check-ins, the constant reassurance that you were there no matter what. Even when she pulled away, part of her believed you'd stick around, because that's what most men do. They stay, they cling, they try to repair what's already broken. But when you fall silent, it unsettles her. She's not sure anymore if she still matters in your life. And here's the irony: silence isn't noisy, but it screams louder than anger ever could. Because when a man leaves with peace and dignity, without throwing daggers or leaving behind a storm, it haunts her. She realizes you didn't just walk away. You walked away with self-respect intact. And nothing makes a woman think harder than the absence of a man who once gave her everything. 2, the memory that haunts her. At first, she'll play it cool. She'll act like she doesn't care. Maybe she'll laugh louder with friends, post more selfies online, surround herself with people just to prove she's fine. But silence creeps in at night when the room is quiet and the phone doesn't light up like it used to. That's when the memories start to sting. Here's the trick about memory: it doesn't play fair. It doesn't replay the arguments or the little things that annoyed her. Instead, it highlights the good parts louder than the bad. She remembers how you showed up without being asked, how you cared in ways she didn't even notice at the time, how your presence felt steady, like a safety net she thought would always be there. And now it's gone. The comfort is gone. The effort is gone. The steady love is gone. At first, she might even laugh it off, saying to herself, he'll be back. But days turn to weeks, and when you don't return, those memories start to weigh heavy, because regret has a cruel way of painting the past in brighter colours than reality. She begins to miss not just you, but the version of herself she was when you were there, secure, wanted, cared for. That's when silence turns into a mirror she can't escape. It forces her to see that the love she once overlooked was real, and the man who gave it, the one she thought would always wait, is no longer available. That realization, it burns deeper than any fight. 3, the rebuild, choosing you, not her. Here's where most men get it wrong. They go silent, but in the back of their minds, they're waiting for her to notice, waiting for her to text, waiting for her to feel the regret. But that's not real silence. That's just a pause. The real strength comes when you stop waiting and start rebuilding. Think about who you were before she entered your life. You had dreams, goals, a sense of self. Maybe you put parts of that aside to love her. Maybe you bent until you broke, trying to keep her happy. But now the silence is your chance to return to yourself, to remember the man you were before the heartbreak. And rebuilding doesn't mean loud announcements. You don't need to post about it. You don't need to throw hints online. You just show up for yourself quietly. Go back to the gym, not to make her jealous, but to release the weight of your pain. Focus on your work, not to prove her wrong, but to prove yourself right. Reconnect with the passions you abandoned. Because here's the secret. When you start choosing you, not her, something shifts in the air. She feels it. She may not say it, but she notices the glow that comes when a man invests in himself again. And nothing makes her miss you more than realizing she no longer has access to the best version of you. 4. Why peace is more dangerous than anger. Most men think anger is the way to show strength. That shouting, blocking, or posting bitter quotes will make her realize what she lost. But anger still gives her attention. Anger still ties you to her. And here's the truth. If she can still get a reaction from you, she still knows she matters. Peace, though. Peace is different. Peace is the scariest thing you can give her, because peace says, you don't control me anymore. Peace says, I'm healed enough to walk away and not look back. And that quiet composure, that's what unsettles her most. She may check your social media, expecting to see you broken. She may ask around, hoping to hear you're struggling. But when all she sees is calm, collected energy, it forces her to face something she never prepared for. You're no longer affected. Peace is final. Peace is what makes her realize she no longer has a hold on you. And once she feels that, the missing begins. Because every woman knows when a man detaches with peace instead of anger, he's gone for good. And that's the kind of absence she can't replace. 5. The rewrite of your story. When she hurt you, she formed an image of you in her mind. Maybe she saw the desperate side, the pleading, the heartbreak, the man who begged her to stay. But silence starts rewriting that story. Now, in her mind, you're not the man who explained himself. You're the man who walked away without a word. You're not the man who begged. You're the man who chose peace. And that shift rewires how she remembers you. Instead of, he needed me too much, she starts to think, he became too much for me to handle. Instead of, he was broken without me, she begins to feel, he became untouchable without me. That emotional rewrite is haunting because now she doesn't just remember the man she left. She misses the man she'll never have again. And all of it happened without you posting a single thing, without you throwing shade, without you explaining yourself. Just by standing still in silence, you rewrote the story she tells herself about you. And that story, that's what keeps her up at night. 6. The final step, becoming unforgettable. Here's the irony. You don't do any of this to make her miss you. That's just the side effect. You do it because you finally remembered who you are, because no woman should ever hold the keys to your self-worth. When you grow in silence, when you choose peace over chaos, when you rebuild quietly, it speaks louder than anything else. And over time, she begins to feel something she didn't expect. Loss, not just of you, but of the energy you carried, the warmth she once had easy access to, the man she thought she knew, but who now stands far ahead of where she left him. She'll miss you, but here's the catch. By then, you won't need her to. You'll be too focused on your own life, your own growth, your own healing, and that's what makes you unforgettable. Because nothing is more haunting to a woman than realizing the man she hurt has become the man she can't reach. So if she hurts you, don't fight, don't chase, don't explain. Step into silence. Choose yourself. Rebuild your life. Because the man who chooses peace over revenge is the man she'll never forget.